Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at Tpc Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the Tpc Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Frank, par 4 first, relatively gentle start to the round.
It is, Rich. They've taken out the desert that used to limit the players to a drive of about 300 yards. Now, really, you can hit it as far as you want, but you have to be straight. The bunker down the left certainly makes the players respect this opening hole.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Get down. Lay down. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. I'd see a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Now his third, staring right at the green. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. One under early in the round. Just a couple of feet. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker, and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at Tpc Scottsdale. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
You know, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That's a bit offline in the rough. Nicely played onto the fairway here at the second hole. Second shot for Miguel Angel Jimenez. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. He'll need to be strong with this. Good looking shot right here. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus.
We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. Shouldn't be a problem here.
You'd like that one again.
Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Now the third hole, it's a par 5, and how does this one set up, Frank?
It's a nice yardage around that 550, 560 yard mark. So a good drive, you can certainly reach the par 5 and 2. You've got to flash it across a little bit of a desert there. This green has been completely changed in 2014, and the addition of 1 bunker to that right side. Used to be 2.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Frank, even at major championships, a good crowd on a single day might be 25 to 30,000. Consider this for just a moment. At the Tpc Scottsdale in 2013, round number 3 on Saturday, almost 180,000 fans jammed into that ballpark.
It's hard to imagine that's twice the gate at a Super Bowl on a golf course. Now, obviously, some of it's hidden because of the size of the acreage. But golf just doesn't get that type of crowds anywhere else in the world. But it works at Tpc Scottsdale. They have a crowd that keeps going back. They have the Bird's Nest, for example, that goes there. The parties that ring around there. It's an atmosphere that golf never gets anywhere else. But it really works there. The players feel it too. They breathe it. And this is 1 week of the year, just 1 week, where they do feel like superstars.
It's a mix of soft spikes and stiletto heels. There's nothing quite like the Tpc Scottsdale. This will be a 14-foot putt here. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts. Now it's that sneaky distance.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed. Even par currently.
+1 in the early going. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Bottom of the barrel, and now to 2 under. Really nice mix of holes to start here at Tpc Scottsdale. The 2 4s and then the par 5. Now our first par 3. Just a little over 180 yards, Frank.
Plays a little downhill, longer than what it once was. Green is radically different. Used to be deep, now it's wide. And the bunkering, of course, is visually totally different from what it used to be.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
And it makes the green in regulation. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Putt for par. He needs one. In for par. Now at 1 under for the round. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up.
This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
And setting up here in the rough. Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is. Second shot.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker.
Too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Great knees, great hands in this shot.
Yeah, touch. You have to have that feel. You have something between the ball and the club face, so it's a different feel, but you also have to have imagination.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Oh, what a bonus.
These putts keep the round together. And with that, 1 under par. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those two bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So the strategy, do you have the length to get past them? Or if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Not quite what he was hoping for, the tee shot in the bunker. Frank, about 150 yards to that hole location. Did he catch it clean, Frank?
It seemed like good contact from the sand. Got enough of the ball. Just heading a little right.
Safely aboard. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
The second shot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Oh, that hurts. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. A good 20-footer here. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed, still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive and that green starts to widen. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
A bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a cross-country special. Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's gonna love it. In the words of the legendary basketball announcer Marv Albert, from way downtown, yes! So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was, they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Trying to put this hole behind him quickly. Double bogey putt. So with that, the score is now at even par. Now here at the par 4 8th, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of two bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those two bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
He'll need to be strong with this.
Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Now one of the best personalities in the game, Miguel Angel Jimenez, ready for his approach. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Still playing even for the day after the par. So they'll tap in. So 2 over par for the round. Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep. Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. Frank, as we get set for this approach, what does our featured player need to do to regain some of that early round magic?
First, a bit of advice, really. Take a deep breath. Make sure all those bad thoughts get out of your mind. After that hot start, we all know they can play better than this, but they need to relax first of all and then let their game take over again.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. Birdie chance here on this very long putt. Could it be? And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it. Rich, I once asked Tom Weiskopf, I was really young, I said, who's the greatest putter you've ever seen? And I thought the answer was going to be Ben Crenshaw, Billy Casper, even my fellow countryman Bob Charles. And he sort of shook it off and he said, that's the easiest questions anyone's ever asked me. It's Jack Nicklaus. I'm like, Jack Nicklaus was this great player, hit the ball far and high and all that. And I said, well, why would you say he's a great putter? He said, well, when you hit a shot to 30 feet on just about every hole and you never look at a makeable putt, but the first one you get, the first 10-footer, you just bury it straight in the middle of the hole. He said, that's a great putter. He said, when you watch Nicklaus's career over the years, time and time again, he wouldn't have a makeable putt. Take two putts. But when he had one, the first one he looked at, he knocked it in. And he said, that is what a great putter does.
He made them when it mattered. 18 times to win major championships, it mattered for Jack. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Now the second shot from 130 yards. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
That will be a great look at birdie. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Getting set now over the putt. That's a par. Stays at +2. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee, and that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. It's a 180-yard shot, his second.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Needs birdies at some point, but will take the par to stay at 2 over. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 7th hole seems to have shaken his confidence. 12th hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left, because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker.
Surely not.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
The inimitable Miguel Angel Jimenez has this for par.
It's a cruel game.
Frank, he'll have to take a full swing at this putt for birdie.
This is long, but every now and again, one of these finds the bottom of the cup and makes that magic sound.
It's a good-looking putt right here. He might like it.
Never looked like missing.
Just a little tap in here. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists so often say, put the mistake behind you, live in the moment. Easier said than done.
It is, male, female. It doesn't, it certainly affects everybody that plays this game. And somehow you've got to, play, you've heard the old cliche, one shot at a time, but this is why it's so important. Because if anything from the past creeps in, it really does affect on what you do after that.
Tug that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut. That's been the story of the day. Hacking it out of the rough.
Gonna have grass stains on the shoes come the end.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Well, a bit unfortunate. In the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
And setting up here in the rough.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. In the Greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. Settles in over the putt. Drops the putt to go to 2 under. Good chance here. So 2 over par for the round. Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left has been pushed out into the fairway, actually makes the hole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. You don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, well, you're going to have to carry that front bunker.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
That was a little over-ambitious.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, you've been around this game for a pretty long time. Are players, in fact, more athletic today than they were, say, 20, 25 years ago?
There's no question, Rich, they are. That we've borrowed from other sports. If you can't make the player better, you can make them more athletic. And in the end, you're still making the golfer better. There's no snack, though.
Frank, there's an old basketball announcer who used to say when a ball went in and out of the cylinder, just the way that one did, he would say, ringtail howitzer. And that one just didn't go in. Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Now at the par 5 15th, and Frank, there is plenty to catch your eye. There's also quite a bit to catch your ear. You can hear the roars at the par 3 16th. So how do you focus on the task at hand?
Great question, Rich. You know, you realize you're about to enter the stadium part of the golf course, but this is the last par 5 that you're going to play. We've seen eagles here over the years. We've seen many a player hit it in the water off the tee or water short of the green. Certainly one of the tougher tee shots coming in. No bunkers here to worry about, just that huge lake to the left. Find the fairway you might just find the green.
Boy, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the...
Frank, you've just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
After hitting it in the drink, this is the fourth shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Didn't hit it in there tight, but still with a good chance.
Yeah, if that's his worst shot at the end of the day, then I still think he's played well.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. This is a good-looking shot. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a good lag putt there, Frank.
Yeah, the whole idea of a lag putt, sometimes you build a 3 or a 4 foot circle and just try and get it inside that. Good putt.
One of the game's most lovable characters, Miguel Angel Jimenez, has this for par. 1 over for the day. Getting set now over the putt. Nice par to remain at 2 under. Well, here we are at the 16th hole, looking at just over 160 yards. Doesn't seem all that daunting, Frank. But 160 yards with 20,000 people, horned into a little stadium in the desert, that makes it a different story.
It certainly is. This was one hole, too, where Tom Watson would send his caddy forward. He would stay back by 15. His caddy would get his yardage. Watson would simply walk on the tee. His caddy would give him the club. He would not go through his normal routine. He would simply just head away. It was one hole that he never wanted to think about. It might look simple, but it's what the player feels.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
It's at sneaky distance.
Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease. This would give him the par. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byron's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
This, the second shot here at the par 4.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt.
Rich, 18 was always considered a long finishing hole.
Not for J.B. Holmes.
Yeah, the water was always in play. And then the day he took it over the left side and carried everything and went on to win, that completely changed the way this golf course played ever since that day.
And it resulted in some of the changes we're seeing now.
Yeah, evidence, the new bunkering down the left side, but it showed us all.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for. What a great shot.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Second shot for Miguel Angel Jimenez. Headed for the bunker, I think. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
About 18 feet away with a decent look.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag. Really. This is that awkward length. Do that.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's a round of 72 for the day. Well, Frank, this day had a little bit of everything. I mean, you always catch your breath after a round at Tpc Scottsdale because it's generally just so exciting, and today was no exception.
Yeah, the atmosphere here is unlike any other TPC golf course. The fact that you know you're playing a golf course